Welcome back to Broadway World's Next on Stage, sponsored by Broadway Records. And I'm your host, Richard Ridge. Last week, we announced our top 10 from our high school group, and tonight we're back to announce our top 5. Our top 5 tonight received the most votes from our third week of voting, which opened on October 26th and closed last night at midnight. And you voted them into our top 5. And now our judges will provide valuable feedback for them to use in their performances that'll be voted on by the public next week. The judges will also see performances from our bottom 3 contestants who didn't make it into the top 5, letting one of them have the chance to compete for a spot in the top 5 and for your votes. Now, we'll be showing shortened clips of each performances tonight, but if you want to see a performance in its entirety, head on over to BroadwayWorld.com/nextonstage. Now, let's welcome back our judges. From Aladdin, say hello to Ariel Jacobs.
Hello.
Hey, Ariel. From Kinky Boots, welcome back Kyle Taylor Parker.
Hey.
Hey, Kyle. And from Wicked, say hello to Brittany Johnson.
Hi.
Hey, Brittany. And joining us this week is newly Tony-nominated star from Jagged Little Pill. Say hello to Derek Klena.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me this week. I'm so excited.
Hey, congratulations on your Tony nomination and the 15 nominations for Jagged Little Pill. How excited is the company?
Yeah, we're thrilled. I mean, after such a crazy year, especially for the arts community, it's definitely a high point for us. And we were all able to gather via Zoom last week and celebrate, which was really, really awesome.
Well, so well-deserved. It's thrilling to have you back for our top 5. Everybody.
Thank you.
Judges, are you ready? Top 5?
Yeah.
Ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. First up is Charlie Wade. Last week, he sang If I Didn't Believe in You from the last 5 years. And this week, he'll be singing Empty Chairs at Empty Tables from Les Miserables. Now, this week, we'll be highlighting our contestants' charities that they were hoping to win the $1,000 donation for. Now, Charlie's is for the Ronald McDonald House to give back to the organization after it helped him as a kid, returning that blessing to other families in need. Judges, enjoy Charlie.
There's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain that goes on and on. Phantom faces at the window. Phantom shadows on the floor. Empty chairs at empty tables where my friends will meet no more. Oh, my friends, don't ask me what your sacrifice was for. Empty chairs at empty tables where my friends will sing no more.
What a way to kick off our top 5. Ariel, I'll start with you.
Yeah, Charlie. Wow, you sound so amazing singing this song. I mean, your voice is, every time I hear you sing, I'm like, that voice is magnificent. Everything from your breath support and the purity of your vowels and the phrasing, your vibrato, everything is so clean, and watching you really feel these emotions is so beautiful. I know this song really well because my brother Adam Jacobs played Marius in Les Mis in the revival, and not the most recent one, but before that. So I know the song really well, and I can see how you are seeing the ghosts of your friends in the space, and it's so beautiful. The one thing that I would say that you can do to just even add a little bit more intensity and growth to the song in terms of build is really when you repeat my friends, whenever you repeat anything, right? Why are you repeating it? And in that moment, how can you personalize or see or feel the whole history of relationship of those friendships within you as you repeat those words, my friends, because that is the moment where it's almost too much to bear. So allowing the words and the history that you have with these people to really even take it to the next level is going to be so awesome. And I can't wait to see you do so many more things.
That's terrific. Kyle, for you.
So good. Oh my goodness, your voice is so great. I can tell you also really love this song. You sound great on it. I would challenge you to trust that the music and your understanding of the intention of the song will get you to the emotional place itself, right? When songs are so emotional, we want to really get that across, but it's really hard to play an emotion, and I don't think it's going to get you far. So you hear me say a lot on the show, know it, don't show it. That's one of those things. Know the emotion, but you don't have to show it. And instead, think about think about what you want to achieve from this song. Are you trying to put a name to this sad feeling you've experienced all through pandemic without your friends? And that name would be empty chairs and empty tables. If I could have one sentence to describe my time in pandemic, that's what it would be. And so you're trying to achieve that as opposed to feel through the song. It'll make it more active and it will really bring us into it.
Beautiful. Brittany, for you.
Yes, I completely agree with everything that's been said. And I guess just to add to it a little bit more, I think getting even more specific about your environment, what you're seeing and not seeing, and who those specific friends are. It's always more helpful for me when I can see specific faces in my head to talk to, because it brings out something that's very real in me. So like Kyle was saying, it will help with that feeling and not showing.
Beautiful.
And I just want to say thank you very much for staying in it until the very end until the music ended. It was beautiful. Thank you for that.
That's great. Derek, for you.
Man, you guys are all really smart, because I was thinking all the same thing. No, I ditto to whatever everybody's been saying. I also think that it's hard with this song it can often be a trap, because you're dealing with this guy who's tormented by his past and by the horrific events that have just taken place. But you also have to realize that, why does he go to this space? Why does he start singing this song? To pay his respects to his friends and to reminisce on what they stood for, as well as being tormented by the past and by this horrific event. So I think that'll help you pace yourself to get to that really like full on emotional place for the my friends don't ask me, like the big like apex of the song. We have to really, really hold our emotions back until that point, so that we're constantly evolving and the intensity continues to grow and we don't plateau too soon. So I think focusing on why he came to this place, paying respects to his friends, and also honoring them on top of this torment will just add that extra layer and that specificity.
That's great. Sensational feedback. What a way to kick off with Charlie. Really sensational. Next up is Luchi Wakori. Last week she sang He Wanted a Girl from Giant the Musical. And this week she's singing Moments in the Woods from Into the Woods. Her charity is the Fund for College Auditions, because they help provide support to low-income minority LGBTQ high schoolers that want to obtain a theater degree, giving high schoolers like herself opportunities and resources to pursue theater that they might not have otherwise. Judges, enjoy.
Back to life, back to sense, back to child, back to husband. No one lives in the woods. There are vows, there are ties, there are needs, there are standards, there are shouldn'ts and shoulds. Why not both instead? There's the answer if you're clever. Have a child for warmth and a baker for bread and a prince for whatever. Never is these woods. Face the facts, find the boy, join the group, stop the giant, just get out of these woods. Was that him? Yes, it was. Was that me? No, it wasn't. Just a trick of the woods. Just a moment, one peculiar passing moment. Must it all be either less or more, either plain or grand? Is it always or is it never? And that's what woods are for those moments in the woods.
Just great. Judges, Kyle, I'll start with you.
You know I'm a fan. so great. Your tone's so great. I asked last week for you to do a funny song or something of the Sondheim variety, and you said, I'll do both. Kudos. Thank you for taking the challenge. You're so wonderful. Something I really like about you it's so fun to see so many young, talented people, and everyone has what you might find in one person is the complete opposite in another. So you have such freedom of body and spirit, right? And other people really struggle with that. So I think you can do less. I think your face is so intriguing and it tells so much of the story. I also think that what I saw last week is that you can be very human. So right now it's about just evening it all out. So here's a tip. When you practice, throw everything out there, like how you're doing right now with your hands. Use everything. Then do one where you're sitting down on the couch on your hands and you cannot move. You have to tell the entire story just with your face. Then practice it and meet somewhere in the middle. Because right now I think your hands are distracting from all the story that's really happening. So you just want to always get back to that really human place that you can get to. It's just a lot of work, but I know you can do it.
That's great. Ariel, for you.
So good, so fun. I sang this song a few years back. I played Baker's wife, and Titus Burgess was the witch, and it was incredible, such a great show. But there's so many nuances to this particular song that I know how hard it is to go back and forth and back and forth. And we talked about this last week about having the internal conflict and how to increase the internal conflict. So I see all of that within your performance. Yes, like Kyle said, your voice, your tone, it's everything. Like, just sing me everything. But it was also so good to see you be funny. And I laughed out loud when you did the Prince, whatever, never. I mean, that was so good. I also saw your environment, and I felt like you had a clear, even though this song is talking to yourself, I saw a specific person you're talking to, which was wonderful. The one thing I would say that you could even do to make it lift even off the page and make it more like human speech is to think about having opinions about the specific words that come up. So specifically like either less or more, either plain or grand. Is it always or is it never? And I don't hear you having a different opinion about less, more, plain, grand, and or. And I want to hear your personal feeling about what those words mean for you. And that might mean that it sounds like it's not so legato. That might mean that you break up the words to make it sound more like speech. So don't feel like you always need to do exactly what's on the page. If there's a way that you internalize something and it comes out a little differently in terms of rhythm or in terms of punctuation, that's okay. So give yourself the freedom to do that.
That's great. Derek, for you.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, I think what will also help is be careful of back phrasing too much. With this, like it's to keep it active, you really want to stay on tempo and you want to keep it moving forward. And if you play, like if you sing it a little bit too legato or you hold yourself back, and then we lose that momentum. And to go along with what Kyle was saying, I think it's like kind of an on-camera etiquette thing. We on stage and in an audition room, we're able to play to a bigger space, but when we're on camera, we have to take our focal points and really zoom them in, so we stay with your eyes, we still stay engaged in the storytelling. And a way to do that with this is like we have basically 3 parts. We have she's dissecting everything that she's gone through, then discovery, and then understanding. So if you focus on those like 3 bits instead of all of these different scenarios that she's describing, then it simplifies things a little bit, and it's easier to kind of grasp the storytelling of this. But you sound phenomenal. I'm just being like super nitpicky because you're so great already. Great job.
That's great. Brittany, for you.
Yes, Luchi, I love your voice. I love your storytelling. I think you're so talented. I cannot wait to come and watch you on Broadway. That said, I agree. It's so hard going last because everybody says everything that you're thinking. I think to add to what everyone else has said, I would love to see this song really have an arc. And I think one way to do that is to think about it in 3 acts. I talked a little bit about this last week. It just will give it somewhere to go so that I understand, just like Derek was just saying, if you have where you start at the beginning and then you're figuring out in the middle, and then you come to a resolution at the end, it helps us see your growth. And like Kyle was saying, it will also help if you embrace the stillness of this song, because there's so many words, there's so much that we have to, as an audience, even just try to focus on, that if there's too much extraneous movement, we miss the lyrics. So I think if you embrace the stillness and trust that the story that you're telling is coming through, because it is, you don't really have to show us with your movement. And then if you can think about the build, the build and the arc of this story, then that'll be it.
I love all the feedback this week. I love the whole thing about 3 acts, because I remember Liza Minnelli saying every song she's worked on, she keeps a book and she writes all the lyrics out, and every single song is an entire play from the beginning to the end, like you said. And I love how you broke this down, or breaking these songs like down to 3 acts, a beginning, a middle, and an end, somewhere to go to tell these stories. Really fascinating this week from all of you. Thank you for all your incredible insights, for breaking it down for these kids. Top 5. Okay, I know, right? Next, we have Gabriel de los Santos. Last week, he sang Being Alive from Company, and he's back this week to sing You'll Be Back from Hamilton. The charity he picked is Newark School of the Arts, because he wants to help them the same way they helped him, by believing in him since day one. Here is Gabriel.
You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. The oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when the push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya
I love that song.
I did too.
It's
Way
so
to go,
good.
Gabriel. Well, Derek, I'll start with you.
All right, yeah, really, really fantastic job. I think the thing with this is, and eventually you did get to this place where he was really having fun with it. But first of all, I think he's having fun with tormenting this guy. So this whole song, there's power, there's superiority, and there's joy in like playing with this little mouse that he, that is Hamilton and the US in this case. And then also, I think what John Groff did so well with this is there is so much power and confidence in stillness. And I think that is what defines this character, is that, yes, he's having fun and he's toying with them. At this point in the story, he has all the superiority in the world. And he is very sure of himself that he is going to come out of this and he's going to get what he's always intended to get. So I think embrace a little bit of that at the beginning. And then when you get into like the da-da-das, then you could start to really open up and express a lot of that like you did. But I think the stillness at the beginning and showing a little bit of that joy will really take this up a notch.
Great. Brittany, for you.
Yes, Gabriel, I love your voice. I'm still waiting for your bedtime album so that I can play it on my way to bed. Just know that I'm looking out for it. I love this song too, and I think I completely agree with Derek. I was looking for more of the like joy in the villainy in the beginning, because I think that's what makes us actually really like his character, even though we're not supposed to, is that there's something that's so contagious about how much joy he finds in being horrible. And it's just like it's infectious. And I feel like as soon as you opened up and you smiled, it was like that's what I wanted at the beginning of it. I also wanted to see more of your environment. I felt like your environment was in one place, and I feel like I kind of lost your setting. So I'd love for you to just have more of an imagination of where you are, and I think it'll come through as if you know where you are. And to add to that, sometimes the costume really does make the character. And I'm not saying go and put anything else on. I'm just saying imagine what you have on, because it changes your posture. It changes even maybe how you can move. Maybe it'll help with the stillness, because he's probably in some kind of corset. You can't really move in a corset. So just imagine your environment and the circumstances a little bit more, and I think it'll drop in naturally. But great
Beautiful.
job.
Ariel, for you.
Yeah, I agree with everything Derek and Brittany have just said. The things that I was writing down are amazing voice. I also want your album. Please record an album. But also finding the joy in the villainry. Is that a word? Villainry. I don't know.
It is now.
Whatever.
It is
Yeah. I'm a fan.
So what Brittany was saying about finding the joy even when you're evil, I always bring up Jafar in Aladdin, and I always bring up how much he loved the idea of ruling and being in power, and he was focusing on what he loved, not on his anger. And not that this character has anger. This character is, like Derek said, very confident and very poised and very happy with feeling, superior and checkmate all the time. He's always checkmating everybody. But we also want to like him. If you have a character that is being very evil to everyone else, try to find ways to make him likable, and even for yourself, if there are ways that you can find more of that joy. I saw the stillness in the beginning. But I didn't feel like a pride and a superiority and a playfulness within your stillness that then grows into even more of a joy and a smile. So allowing that build to not just be physical, but to also come from a sincere place of always staying positive with it, positive playfulness, happy, even though you're saying evil things, and then just letting it explode.
I love that. Kyle, for you.
So good. I agree with what everyone has said. I think this is something for everyone, I think. This week and last week, you sang 2 iconic songs. And that's like a big task, right? Like we all kind of have an idea of what this performance looks like, what the character is. We have a strong understanding of that. So what you have to do then is figure out, when am I like this? So in this conversation, we've just gotten a lot of great words like pride, sinister. Feels like he's better than everyone. When do you feel like those things? And I think that's your way into that, as opposed to I'm playing Jonathan Groff's version of this on Disney Plus. It'll work, but it's not going to spark the way that we've seen you spark before. So I would say for everyone, as you continue to work on songs, organize the thoughts, organize who this character is and what's happening, and then think, when am I like that? And then go from there, right? Because you know that information. It's personal to you, as opposed to like, when is Jonathan Groff like that? I couldn't tell you. I don't know him, but you know you. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you can also make an as if you can say, okay, if it's pride or sinister, whatever it is that this character is going through, what if you haven't experienced that fully? Maybe you can imagine a situation in which if this happened, I would be so whatever, and then you could play that.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, back again this week is Sarah Lepre. Last time we saw her sing They Just Keep Moving the Line from Smash, and this time she'll be singing On My Way from Violet. Her charity is the Trevor Project, because mental health and the LGBTQ plus community are extremely important to her, and it would mean the world if she could give to an organization as vital in this time of insanity as the Trevor Project. Judges, enjoy Sarah.
Jordan River is where you'll find me. It's wide but not too wide to ford, and as I'm going along, I carry with me back there when I climbed on board. Jordan River is where you'll find me. It's wide but not too wide to ford. And as I'm going along, I carry with me promises that can't go wrong as I travel on, as I travel on.
So wonderful. Yeah, clap. Sarah, totally. Oh my God. Hey, Brittany, I'll start with you.
Great. I never know when it's coming.
I know.
I love watching you perform. You have so much energy and you have this light about you that just like it just pulls me in. I love watching you. I think somebody's mowing grass out there. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
I think what I would love for you to think about, what I've said before, think about this song in 3 acts. It'll give you somewhere to go. Right now, I feel like there's almost no conflict in you. It kind of feels like there's the same struggle throughout the entire song, or the same kind of feeling or intention throughout the entire song. And I would love to see more of an internal conflict at the beginning, so that we see you working it out. So by the time you get to the end, when it's this like exuberant feeling of being on your way into something new, that it feels like you came from something that was a little bit more tumultuous and difficult. I'm so distracted by this sound.
No, it's all good.
But yes, that's those are my thoughts. But great job.
I love it. Derek, for you.
Yeah, fantastic voice. There's a couple things here that well, first of all, wait, there was that one, you on the one breath you held that note and went right into the next verse. I was like, okay. Like that was fierce. Okay, so I think one thing that could help you with this, like what Brittany was saying, in keeping this song progressing and then making sure that we don't plateau too soon, is use the physicality to your advantage. I think maybe move your focal point just a little bit closer to the camera so we could stay a little bit more engaged with your eyes, because it was a little bit far to I think it was your left side. But also with this song, she focuses, especially at the beginning of this, reminiscent on her past and who she was. And then the second part of the song is, I'm leaving that all behind me, and this is the person I'm going to become. So you can use those 2 places as focal points. This is who I was in the past, and then once we really lift off in the song, maybe change your perspective, like she's on her way now. And that can help vary it up so you don't get stuck in one spot. Yeah, that's all I got. Just the physicality notes. Fantastic voice. It was really, really great.
Ariel, for you.
Yeah. Agreed. Sarah, your voice is like so stunning. Like Brittany said, you have this joy, you have this contagious excitement when you perform, and I hope you never, ever, ever stop performing, because you're absolutely meant to do this. And when you do perform, and I feel that joy inside of you, it just, it makes me happy. It makes everyone happy who gets to watch you and hear you. And the only note that I had was very similar to what Derek brought up, which is I felt like I was unsure as to where you were because of your eye line. I felt like you were talking to, or maybe you were seeing your future, or you're talking to somebody, but it was so driven and consistent through the whole thing that I didn't feel like there was a turn. And I also didn't feel like there was a real sense of environment for you. So I don't know where you are, where you feel like you are when you sing this song, but have an idea of where you are, and in addition to who you're talking to and what you're seeing in front of you. And I think even just that little thing would help, because if I see you in a real place, then I feel like you're in a real experience. So it just makes the whole thing just come off as more human. But that's it. Such a great job.
Terrific. Kyle.
You're so good. Everyone's so good. Top 5. Jeez Louise, if I was in high school and I had this, I don't know what would happen. You guys are so great. and it's so great to watch you. I agree with every single thing everyone said. I didn't really write anything, but so great. And as this conversation has gone, I was thinking like, all she needs is like the lights and a costume and like the rest of the story for me to understand. And that led me to this note. I think that for you, as anytime you're singing outside of the show, remember that acting is playing, right? So give yourself permission to imagine. Take it out of the circumstance of the show and give yourself a circumstance. That's going to answer all these questions about where am I, who am I talking to? You get to answer those questions. You are the playwright of this. How each song is a play, like Liza Minnelli said, you're the playwright. So fill it with all of that information, and then we'll have the story in that 1632 bar cut.
Beautiful. Okay, rounding out our top 5, here is Hayden Peterson. Last week she sang I'm Your Man from Dear John Doe, and this week she'll be singing Dyin' Ain't So Bad from Bonnie and Clyde. The National Indian Child Care Association is a charity of her choosing because her donation to the organization could help a child with school materials, helping them get their next meal, or possibly helping them leaving dangerous living situations. Judges, enjoy Hayden.
Need to end up in a rocking chair. Seems you get to live your life just once. If that's how it's gotta be, then I'd rather breathe in life than dusty air. Dying ain't so bad. Not if you both go together. Only when you're left alone does it get sad. Better short and loving life. A short and loving life. A short and loving life. That ain't so
She's terrific. Ariel, I'll start with you.
I can't go. I didn't write a thing down. Somebody else go first.
Derek, I'll start with you.
Oh, great. No, it was fantastic. You're really, 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 really great. The vocals were fantastic. Your focus was really great. The arc of the song was great. The way you got to that intimate, I love the end of this song, how it's such an intimate, honest moment that she has after, singing the licks and all the things. I'm so glad you got to that place. The one thing that I think you can embrace a little bit more of that vulnerability and be careful not to oversing through that big arc of the song, because I think what makes this such a beautiful song is her acceptance of the end, the joy that she's going to have on the other side, and coming to grips with that. So I think that, yes, we can get to that place where we're like full belt and we're really embracing the peak of the song, but just be careful not to push too hard. Just so we gain a little bit more control on the downhill slope as we get to that intimate place at the end of the song. But I mean, that was a very, very nitpicky note. It was a fantastic performance. Great job.
That's great. Kyle, I'll move to you.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything Derek just said. The dog across the hall is intense.
It's all good.
So,
it's the new now.
I mean, so just give me a second. He'll stop. Great. So I agree with every single thing that Derek said. I really think that you're extraordinary and you have so much further to go. It's only going to get better. I can't wait to see what happens. A little tip for the big notes is I find it really helpful to think of the high notes or the big notes as a release, as opposed to I had a voice teacher once said, you shouldn't be hitting anything when I was talking about hitting a high note. So you want to let those release and pay more attention to the note before it. So the note before it, you invest in that. And then, because we know you have those top notes, that's just a release to take you on the next journey to, the next big event.
That's terrific. That's it?
That's it. You're
I
great.
love it. I love it. Brittany, for you.
Yes, I wrote down outfit exclamation point.
Yeah.
You look fantastic. Every week you come in and I've been like, yes, makeup, hair, yes, all of it. You look fantastic. I barely have any notes for you. The only thing that I would say is I was looking for, like Derek said, a little bit more vulnerability, but there's something, your eyes they have the ability to be so intense and like pull us in, that I was looking for some moments when you were introspective, that you weren't necessarily like giving it to us, but the moments that it was for you, so that then when you turned back to us, it was like, oh, I was looking for a little bit more of that. So I don't know, find some ways to work that in. I have complete confidence in you because you're brilliant.
That's great. Ariel, for you.
That was exactly all of these things. I see all of these things. You're so okay. What Brittany's talking about with your eyes, I feel like you have so much energy coming forward that I feel like it's like a wave. It's like you have so much. Your performance feels like a tidal wave. You're a force, and you have this energy that's it's so amazing, because it's very rare to have a performer who can really hit you and like pierce you and go through you when they perform. It's a really rare gift. So you have that in spades, and I see your stakes are real for you. I feel like I know that you're really fighting for something that you need and that you want, and that you love. So I see the love in there, which is something we always talk about. And what Kyle said about like releasing into the high note, that's just going to even like let it take off even more. The intimacy of the final, like, I think what Brittany's saying is, because you're such a force, because you're always piercing us, it's like we need a break. It's like if you can be introspective and you can let the voice also reflect the introspection and let the voice come down a bit before you bring it back out, it allows us to then absorb it again without feeling overwhelmed or without getting used to it. Because you don't want us to get used to it. You want to, every time that you bring that force out, because your performance is so great, like, and clear. And then if you take moments of introspection and then you bring it out again, it's like for us, every time you do that, it's getting us more and more and more invested in your performance without feeling like it's too much to handle or without feeling like we've gotten used to it. So that's something small that I think will even help you in every song you ever sing, but it's something you specific because of what you put in your work. So brilliant job. I'm just so inspired. Great job.
I love it. That's our top 5. I mean, these are high school students. I mean, when you look back, the 4 of you, were you at this level in high school?
No.
I thought I was. I was
No.
not.
I think
Yeah,
I was
conservatory,
there.
I learned.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I thought I was there, and then I got to school, and it was like everybody who was the top at their school was now all together. And I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting? I'm sure this is great for all of you, because you're looking back to when you were in high school doing what they're doing, and you're giving them all these notes that you've learned along the way to perfect everything, to add colors, to subtract colors, to change things up. Like you say, to focus, make it 3 acts. I mean, it's got to be great for you to look back at these kids saying, wow, look how far they've come and look how far we've come since high school, right?
Yeah, I definitely wish that I had all of y'all giving me notes when I was in high school.
Me too.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, we've all been super lucky to work with very, very smart people. So take our notes to heart and really take them as constructive and continue to build on this. These are all just, food for thoughts. You guys are all really, really incredible. This is really fun to be here this week.
Because this is such a big competition. I mean, you know, everyone's putting themselves on the line. So many people sent in thousands and thousands of submissions to be a part of this. And it's like, you know, they're getting a master class from the four of you that each week, you know, when you, Jarek, you weren't here from the beginning, but for the other four, they have grown so much. They were at the top of their game at the beginning, but they've all grown and they've all taken these specific little jewels. And each week they've come back, like, you know, Kyle said, now do a funny song. Now they have a funny song, or Ariel would say something, or Brittany. So it's so wonderful to watch how they've grown over the past few weeks. So proud of all these kids.
Definitely.
So now when we come back, the judges will see performances from our bottom three performers who will then battle it out for a spot in the top 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our judges will now see performances from our bottom 3 performers who didn't make it into the top 5. Up first, here is Renee Elkady singing Home from The Wiz. Judges, enjoy.
Oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Tell us, should we run away? Should we try and stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy. But it taught me to love, so it's so real to me. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love, like yours, like mine, like
Up next is Kian Debenham singing Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Enjoy.
As you see, I've got biceps to spare. Not a bit of him's scraggly or scroggy. And every single inch of me's covered with hair. In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston. I'm especially good at expectorating. Toy! When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge. And his name's Gaston.
These are our bottom 3. Okay.
That was amazing.
Finally, here is Ava Nicole Francis singing No One Else from Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. Enjoy.
we've done this all before. We were angels once, don't you remember? Joy and life inside our souls, and nobody knows, just you and me. It's our secret. This winter sky. How can anyone sleep? There was never such a night before. I feel like putting my arms around my knees and squeezing tight as possible and flying away like this.
Wow, those are the bottom 3, and they are all absolutely sensational. So listen, as the judges deliberate, we're very excited to debut a very special video. Terrence Boggin, our season 1 high school winner, has released his track from Broadway Records, available to stream on all platforms. All proceeds from his recording will go to the Actors Fund. Enjoy Terrence's official music video for The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha. Enjoy.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man torn and covered with scars, so strong with his last ounce of courage, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man torn and covered with scars, so strong with his last ounce of courage, to reach the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable star.
Welcome back. Oh my God, Terrence. How incredible was Terrence?
So good.
So
He's
great.
so great.
So listen, judges, have you decided to save someone to move into our top three?
We have. We all decided. You guys were all so fantastic, but we've chosen Ava. You did such a fantastic job. I think we're all in agreement. So your storytelling throughout the song was really, really great, and your vocals were fantastic. The one thing that I think we all agreed on to focus on moving forward is finding that point of discovery within the song. Especially in this, the first part of it's so conversational, and then when she does get to that point, the flying away, it's it's such a contrast to the first part, and it's the point of discovery where she realizes that she's in love, and trust the romantic element of that, the beautiful melody, and let your voice soar in that moment, and embrace some of like the quirky, giddy flirtiness at the beginning of the song. I think that will add the contrast and take it up to the next level. But congratulations, great job to everybody.
That is great. So as we move into the top 3, would you all like to give a little advice or a word or two of what they should focus on next week? Ariel, do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah. One thing that I think was coming up this week that I can mention is really figuring out how to personalize the words and personalize the experience for yourself. So, you know, when we were talking about the my friends, and how to make it, how do you make that personal for yourself in terms of what is the history of your relationships with these people? Or if we're talking about another thing, like from the Hamilton song, how to make that feel more personal. If there's a character adjective, but figuring out the as if it's not something you can really relate to in your personal life, or moments in the woods, like figuring out how do you feel about that word and why are they different? Because how you feel about it and what makes it unique for your performance instead of somebody else's performance is your own personal view and your own way that you relate to the words and the song. So the storytelling is just going to get even more enhanced if you can make it deeper for yourself by figuring out how to make it more personal.
Beautiful. Kyle, for you.
I would say to invest in the imaginative circumstance. Circumstance is my word. And you can build it. Make up a story for yourself. Who are you singing to? Is it that you're singing it to your best friend at the edge of your bed and you're telling them this deep secret, and now the impossible dream takes an entirely different approach? Or is it that you are singing to someone you love and you are trying to tell them, please don't leave me? You know, what is it? You decide.
Beautiful. Brittany, for you.
Yes, my word is environment. Really spending the time to create your environment, knowing where you came from, where you're going in the song, what your literal environment looks like. Are you sitting in a chair? Are you wearing a hat? Are you like just so that you can feel like you're really embodying not only the character but the location and space around you. It really helps you to get personalization and to invest in your circumstances because you can really see where you are.
Great. Derek, as our guest judge, you want to add one more thing?
Yes, I'm going to stick with discovery. Finding that place in the song where either the character realizes something and has that moment of discovery, or a light bulb goes off, and that will inform like a transition within the song. I think that was something that we all kind of focused on today, is the growing throughout the song. We never want to plateau too soon, so that's just another element to focus on that can help you do that. And another thing, one other little tidbit is we are all adjusting to this on-camera world. And today we focused on a lot of people trying either to push vocals or push physicality. Never push. Having the idea up here and having a clear understanding of what you're singing about will translate through your eyes. So trust that. Trust yourself. Trust your instinct. Trust the work that you've done to translate. And don't feel like you have to push it with physicality or with your vocals.
Beautifully put. Congratulations to everyone who is moving on to our top 5. We'll be back next week on November 5th at 8 p.m. to announce who is making it to the final 3. Make sure to follow Broadway World on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to find out when the next round of voting opens to the public. Judges, thank you so much for joining us. Derek, thank you for being our guest judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations again.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thanks,
guys.
And the 15 for Jagged Little Pill. We'll see you all next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.